Okay, so carrying on with this story here. I'm not going to explain um, Revelation 21 to you guys. Um, so, so and I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no more sea. So, when you read my book, that's in reference to me and what I'm trying to accomplish here, like getting rid of everything evil in creation, like the eight daily sins. So getting rid of pornography, weapons, fast food, junk food, money, um, everything. So I see a new heaven and I see a new earth. For the first heaven, the first earth I passed away. So in time, that could happen where it's like if people take those inroads and those steps, like if you instill the People's Republic of Canada, which means all female political government system worldwide, we can then work collectively to buy or buy all the corporations around the world and make sure that that money goes back to the world to create a futuristic society where we don't have to rely on money. Because if we can build the technology to build those pink glass cities that are in the book that I'm describing, then there'll be a new heaven and a new earth. And there was no more sea refers to um, Judaism through um, Moses parting the Red Sea. There's an attachment to water. It refers to Christianity and Jesus walking on water. Um, so that's attached to sea. It also refers to Islam and the rivers of Jannah and the rivers and springs of Jannah. So there's an attachment to water with those three belief systems. So when it says there's no more sea, it's in reference to spirituality and science transforming mankind, us all working on the same page to um, follow the belief system of spirituality and science. So if there's no more sea, it just means that there's no more um, three Abrahamic religions. That's what it's referring to. Now, this here is and I saw John, and John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. So, New Jerusalem is referring to like a futuristic pink glass city, and somewhere in the Middle East where um, 100 million people could reside in that city. It'll be a circular motion. It'll be created with a pink glass, which requires deatomization, reatomization technology. So, in order to create that, we need to create UFOs here. In order to create UFOs, mankind needs to research the technology of deatomization, reatomization technology, so that they can literally create a UFO. Once you have the UFO, then you can terraform the planet by putting hundreds and hundreds of UFOs up around the planet, if not thousands of UFOs around the planet, and then use the nuclear fusion reactors to literally uh, bombard the planet with gamma rays and atomic particles, which basically shoot apart the atoms of the planet. You'd see the planet literally disappear, and then the spirits would put the planet back together again, while harvesting the materials inside to create the pink glass city. So if you were in a UFO watching this take place, you would literally see the planet disappear right before your very eyes, and then you would see it come back together again. And at that moment, all the pink glass cities would be constructed using advanced technology. It's called terraforming. So that's what New Jerusalem means. That's the new city. Now, the bride prepared as a door for her husband. That's Elma. So that's the bride. So in the event that I get shot down by Jaden, by by Leia, by Tatum, and by Charlotte, well, my only backup plan is put Alma up as the new mother creator of all creation. I mean, so we have these three Native American ladies who, their story revolves around all three of them getting a crush and all three of them wanted to get with a younger version of me, like a 17-year version of me. However, if none of them want to get with me, well then, Princess Charlotte has been selected because she's like she's royalty amongst the world, right? So people know her, and there's going to be an association of her like being stripped of her title of royalty, because they're not royal. Us Native Americans are royal because we're the creators of all existence. So to mend that that loss for that particular family, like to lose everything, if they're going to lose everything, then offering her the position as Mother Creator of all existence, she might want to step up to the plate and take that position as a way to mend mend their loss. It's the same with Alma, because she comes from Judaism. So because they're gonna start losing everything, and their connection with what they thought was themselves being connected to the Father is what's that's gone. Well, how can that be restored? So that's why Alma has been chosen, because it's designed to restore that damage that's gonna be done to that nation, where they're gonna lose a connection, but in the process of losing that connection, they, in theory, if I get shot down by all four ladies, well then Alma, you could restore that connection to your people by becoming the mother of all creation, and that's who the bride is here. It's you. I'm the husband, and you're the bride. So I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, "Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people. And God himself shall be with them and be their God." So that's in reference to me. You want to just think of that as, "Behold, the tabernacle of the Creator is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and the Creator himself shall be with them and be their Creator." That's all that means. You just switch the words around, right? And the Creator shall wipe all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any pain, or for the former things are passed away. So that's referring to me getting rid of all the 8 deadly sins here, and when we research the technology and when you begin following spirituality, you don't die. Death is something created by evil. In under spirituality, what we need is we need bodies in the 7 other parallel universes that we don't have. So if Alma and I were to become pregnant with our first child, that would destroy everything evil in creation. And then our fraternal twins, which if we got pregnant again with fraternal twins, those fraternal twins would create the seven heavens, which is that's under Islamic. They know what the 7 heavens are. The 7 heavens is a belief they have. So that would just means all that means is there would be 7 parallel universes that would have Earths created, where we'd all have an identical looking twin up there, so that we could ascend our soul into that body over and over and over, from parallel universe to parallel universe, forever and ever and ever, and live forever as physical gods and goddesses. So that's what the no more death shall be. And if that happens, there's no more crying and no more sorrow. For the former things are passed away. So that means like, the belief in, some sort of spiritual afterlife, and, pornography, fast food, junk food, the society that we take for granted here, be gone. That's what that means. Former things are passed away. So, and he that sat upon the throne, me, said, "Behold, I, the Creator, make all things new." And he said unto me, Write, for these words are true and faithful." So, and Anthony said unto me, "It is done. I am the Alpha." So in this case, the Alpha can be, because I'm attaching this particular verse to Alma, it can be, "I, Alma, am Alpha, and I, Anthony, am Omega," because you have to look at that as like a wolf pack, because the Alpha is the queen, or the Alpha is the female head wolf, and the Omega is the male head wolf. So you want to look at it from that perspective. So, but in this reading, it sounds like the male is both, but that's not how you read it. It means it is done. I, Alma, am Alpha, and Anthony, am Omega. The beginning and the end, meaning the beginning of a new existence and the end of evil's reign and terror over this universe and all parallel universes. So I will give unto him that is thirsty of the fountain of the water of life. So basically that all that means is a fountain when you drink it's like knowledge. It has nothing to do with water. The connection with the water is those that believe in the three Abrahamic religions, like the water aspect of it. I'm offering you a new belief system where if you drink from my knowledge, you'll gain the water of life freely, meaning you'll live forever. That's what that means. I will give unto him who is thirsty knowledge from the fountain of the water of life freely. So he that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his creator, and he shall be my son. So it's in reference to the males having a hard time with the transition from the three belief systems to spirituality and science. So that's what that means. But the fearful, unbelieving, and abominable murderers, whoremongers, and sorcerers, and idolaters, all liars shall have their part in the lake, which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. So, basically, those that don't do the transformation from to spirituality and science, when or if I was to get Alma pregnant, the baby's when this baby's spinal cord pops into existence, there's a great deal of electricity to bring that spinal cord into existence. And when you got two creators that are 100% pure, so if I'm 100% pure, she's 100% pure, and we create a baby together, that baby's spinal cord, when it comes into existence, is going to be 100% pure. And anything evil in creation across the 8 parallel universes harboring sin inside is going to get burned with fire or electricity. And that's the second death. The first death refers to the death of your current belief system and what you're trying to follow. It's metaphorical, meaning the first death is referring to you having to leave your old ways behind, your old self behind. Because if you don't leave your old self behind, meaning if you continue to get drunk, if you continue to get high, if you continue to smoke cigarettes, if you continue to eat at McDonald's, if you continue to stuff popping chips in your body and not exercise, you will literally die when we become pregnant. So it's metaphorical for having to leave that part of you behind and become a brand new person. You're all going to have to become like Buddhist monks, exactly like Buddhist monks, taking a vow of celibacy and eating healthy and exercising every day. Because if you don't, you will literally drop dead. If I get one of my 5 wives pregnant, if one of these girls decides to get with me and she gets pregnant with that first child, everything is going to get shocked to death. That's the second death. The first death is metaphorical, meaning you got to transform yourself into a Buddhist monk. So it's the death of your current self into something new. And the second death is when the pregnancy happens. So when I get somebody pregnant, if that's Alma in this case, or the bride from New Jerusalem, then the baby's existence will shock everything evil to death. That's the second death. And there came unto me one out of the 7 angels. So you'll notice that I have 5 on my list. So there's obviously a couple more out there, and I said I can marry anybody on planet Earth that I want. So that's what that refers to. The 7 angels is referring to the 7 continents of planet Earth. So there's 7 continents, right? There's Antarctica, Greenland, North America, South America, Africa, Australia, and Eurasia. So there's 7 continents. So I've chosen 5 angels so far. And there come unto me one of the 7 angels. Meaning, if I get shot down by Alma, what's my recourse? Because I have a plan to get with one of these 5 ladies. If she shoots me down, well, then I have to go searching for another angel amongst the world. That's what that's referring to. And there came unto me one of the seven angels. So the five means if the five shoot me down, well, then I got to look amongst the seven continents to look for another angel who had the seven vials full of the seven plagues. And talked with me, saying, "Come hither, I will show you the bride, the Lamb's wife." So that there is referring to if it's going to be Alma, then it's Alma fulfilling that um the bride prepared for her husband. But if it's not going to be Alma, it's referring to another bride on one of the seven continents. And there came unto me one of the seven angels from one of the seven continents, who had the seven vials full of the seven plagues, and talking to me, saying, "Come hither, I will show you the bride." Meaning, I'll marry you, and be your lamb's wife, or the wife of the Creator. That's what that means, ladies. So, you five ladies that I've selected as of a potential Creator, if you do not accept what I'm offering because you cannot get over what I did to save you, well, then I'll go look for a bride elsewhere amongst the seven continents. That's what that means. I'll find another bride elsewhere. So he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain. So whoever it is that I select, if Alma doesn't accept her duty to mend her people's broken hearts by becoming the mother of all existence, as a Israelite, then somebody else will get that job. So that's what it's referred to. Me carrying somebody else away. So he or Anthony carried me away in the spirit. So the spirit is referred to like the mother of all creation spirit, to a great and high mountain. The mountain is spirituality mountain. So you can go down Death Valley where it's really easy, follow your old ways, and you could think that you can maintain the life that you're living now in the society that we're living now, eating your junk food, not exercising, watching, pornography and, getting high, getting drunk. You could continue to do that and walk yourself down Death Valley and not do the purification program and drop dead when I get somebody pregnant. Or you can climb the spirituality mountain. So whoever it is amongst the seven continents that I select, they begin climbing spirituality mountain and showed me the great city. So the great city is just basically, whoever it is I choose, I'm showing them the pink glass city of the future. So basically what that means is they're going to read my book and the Holy Jerusalem descending out of heaven. So they'll understand, like when scientists gets a hold of my book and they transform the diagrams in it scientifically, you're literally going to be able to see one of my what that looks like. Is they'll create basically a 3D artistic model, you just want to think of it as like a movie. So imagine a movie where you could show how they're going to terraform the planet and how that technology works, so that in plain speak or really easy to understand terminology, like, okay, you see the white star here in the nuclear fusion reactor. That white star is giving off protons and electrons. Those protons and electrons, because the nuclear fusion reactors turned up the gamma rays, means there's billions of billions or trillions of electrons giving off from that star. And those gamma rays are connected back and forth to each UFO. It's like they're shooting bullets back and forth to one another, and it's those bullets that break apart the atoms of the planet. So you'll be able to literally understand and see it really easy when you begin to see science creating a TV show that they can put on my YouTube channel. And whoever it is that I select, they're going to see that video. That's what that means. Oh, I see how they're going to create New Jerusalem. So at some point in time, somebody's going to be watching a video, and that's all that means. So, having the glory of the Creator, and her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear and crystal. So whoever it is, like, I don't know who this is. All I'm saying is I've selected Alma as a potential candidate, and if I get shot down by Alma, if I get shot down by all five, I'll be out looking for a new bride somewhere amongst the world, with one of you ladies out there potentially being this person here. So having the glory of the Creator and her light, meaning if all five of those ladies shoot me down, then I'm looking for a new bride, and it could be any one of you girls out there that I've selected. So you're that late, girls. So every girl on planet Earth needs to know that, you know, if those five ladies piss away their opportunity to be the mother of all creation, well then all you ladies out there are on notice that I'll be looking for a bride. And if you can get over what I did here to save you, you could be the new mother of all creation. That's what that means. So here it's like it had a great wall, a great and high. It had a wall, great and high. Had 12 gates, and the gates 12 angels. So that's referring to um, theology, because there's an association with the 12 disciples. So it's like you guys all have walls. You've built up these walls metaphorically around your hearts and your minds. That's the Great Wall, and it's high. It's a high wall. I have to bring that wall down, and it had 12 gates. So the 12 gates is referring to like the 12 disciples. So there's a gate that you need to walk through in order to come over to spirituality and science. So that's the Great Wall. So the high part is referring to my spiritual warfare work here. It's very difficult for you people to understand, the true nature of what spiritual warfare is to you. You think it's leading a lifestyle where you do this, and that, and it protects you from Satan. That's not what spiritual warfare is about. Spiritual warfare is about connecting the spirits in the brain, so that I could harvest information from them conducive to our survival. So that's what the high part is. So when I get high, I'm waging spiritual warfare. And that's what puts your walls up so high, because you don't understand what the true nature of spiritual warfare is. So the 12 disciples, which is, the Muslims say the three Abrahamic religions, you all have these great high walls up because you don't understand what I had to do here to save you guys. So that's what that's referring to, the gates of your belief system. And the names were written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. That doesn't mean that the 12 tribes of Israel. What that means is through the association of Christianity and the 12 disciples and Israel, you want to think of this as being Christianity, that being Judaism, and through the association of both of those coming from the three Abrahamic religions, meaning Islam as well, because all three of you are based on that belief system. So the 12 tribes just means Christianity and Islam and Israel, because Israel, you're like the grandfather. Christianity is the father, and Islam is the son. So on the east, 3 gates. On the north, 3 gates. And on the south, 3 gates. On the west, 3 gates. So what that's referring to is the east in the medicine wheel. The east is the direction for children. The north is the direction for elders. The south is the direction for teenagers, and the west is the direction for adults. So these 3 gates are metaphorical for the medicine wheel, and you having to let go of your belief system to embrace the medicine wheel or embrace spirituality and science. But because there's 3 gates associated with each direction, that 3 gates is a reference to my grandfather spirit, and my father spirit, and my son spirit. The grandmother spirit, the mother spirit, and the daughter spirit. So that's what the 3 gates is a representation of. And the wall of the city had 12 foundations. And on them the names of the 12 apostles of them. So the wall of the city, again, the wall of the city is, you want to think of your belief system inside as being like a city, and you having a wall up around it. And the 12 foundations means that there's a very strong foundation there in the belief systems that has been created for you. So you have a strong foundation, and in this case, the 12 is a representation of Christianity. So you take the Christianity who is associated with Judaism and Islam through the 3 Abrahamic religions of Abraham and Sarah, and all that simply means is the 3 Abrahamic religions having a very strong foundation, and on them the names of the 12 apostles, or of the Lamb, which is in this case that's Jesus, right? So it's metaphorical for having walls built up, and you having a very strong foundation on those walls, meaning, the work that I had to do here spiritually behind the closed scenes, it's it, it's very hard to understand, and one would get the impression that I'm the bad guy for conducting the spiritual warfare behind the scenes here. But if you could get over that fact and just see me as a normal human being, then your foundations and your walls will begin to come down. And he that talked with me had a golden reed to measure the city, and the gates thereof, and the walls thereof. So I'm the one talking to you. The golden reed is metaphorical for um not like a not like a reed from an instrument, but rather like a you add an A to that. The golden is referring to my book, Spirituality and Science, and that you having to read it so that you can measure the city or understand the futuristic pink glass cities that I'm trying to create for mankind here, where we can live forever, and travel the stars and UFOs and go from any planet we want to go to, and forever and ever and ever. So that's what you need to read my book so that you can get the gold. Because if you sit on the fence and become like let's say there's you're a jury member, but you only listen to um the prosecution. So in this case, it's like picking up your book and reading only from your book that I'm Satan, without picking up my book as the defense. So if you only read from the prosecution and believe that I'm Satan without picking up my book as the defense and reading about me and what I have to say, you're not being a good jury member. You're going to automatically convict me on evidence only hearing from the prosecution. It's like being a jury member, listening to the prosecution, and then getting up as a jury member, exiting the jury box, coming back, and then saying, we find the defendant guilty, without reading my book or listening to the defense. And you can't do that. You cannot convict me by only reading from your book. And that's what the golden reed is about. You need to read my book if you want to become golden. Otherwise, you're going to get bronze. If you get bronze, and if I was to get Elma pregnant without you reading my book, and you're wandering around because you believe in your book, you'll drop dead when you get shocked with electricity. So that's all that means. It's metaphorical. So you need to bring the walls down because of the walls. So, and the city lieth foursquare, and the length is as great as the breadth. And he measured the city with the reed, 12,000 furlongs. The length and the breadth and the height of it are equal. So, yeah, forgive me. I haven't read the scripture in a while, but I had it broken down before in one of my other books. So, I'm working on the fly here. So, and the city lieth. So, there's going to be UFOs that come here, and those are big UFOs. Like we're talking 8 miles wide, that can house 2 million people in there. So those are flying cities. When they come here, they're going to lie to you. That's what that refers to. Foursquare means it's connected to Huey Lewis in the News. Hip to be square. If you look up so if you look up Huey Lewis in the News, hip to be square, that's what it's referring to. These people coming over here lying to you and getting rid of you, just like in this particular scene here. So look that up, because when they come over here, they're gonna lie to you. And the foursquare is referring to hip to be square. But to understand that, you need to understand Foursquare. So this is a game that people play. So that Foursquare in the scripture is simply referring to um, a city, a flying city flying over our heads, coming here lying to you. They're going to lie to you, and ultimately they're going to chop you up just like an American Psycho and get rid of you. That's their plan. Their plan is to come here, and if you don't believe what they're telling you, they'll chop you up. Then they're going to take the rest of you who believe in their lies, take you up on the space, and they'll chop you up there. They'll get rid of you up there. That's what that means. So, and the length is the great as the breadth. And he measured the city with the reed. So I've measured that city. It's 8 miles wide. That's me measuring it with my reed, my READ reed, like my book. I know that the UFOs are gonna come here 8 miles wide. The 12,000 furlongs, that's referring to Edward Furlong. He's an actor. So that's Edward Furlong. So the people that are coming over here, they're not humans. They're artificially intelligent people or machines. So the people that are coming over here to pretend to be your mommy and daddy are machines. They're cloned bodies of humans with a molecular-sized neural link in the brain. Or they're Terminators, because a Terminator is a machine. So that's Edward Furlong. They're not human. So the people that come here, they're not going to be human. They're going to be machines. And that's what that means. 12,000 furlongs. Edward Furlong. So there's Edward Furlong, okay? Edward Furlong, and he's in Terminator 2 Judgment Day. That's Edward Furlong. So the 12,000 furlongs, all that simply refers to is there being thousands and thousands of androids coming over here pretending to be angels. They're robots. Anybody that comes over here in a UFO pretending to be human, they're not human. They're androids. Because the artificial intelligence created to help evil take over creation got out of hand, and now it's in control. And from what I'm told is it's trying to get rid of every human in creation. So the people that are coming here in UFOs, they're not humans, they're machines. That's what that means. So when they come here pretending to be the 12 apostles or pretending to be your mom and dad, it's referring to, being thousands and thousands of robotic machines. They're humans with a molecular-sized neural link in their brain. A molecule is just a step up bigger than an atom. And that molecule is what gives them their self-awareness. But don't be deceived by them. They may look human. They're not human. They're machines. And it's our job to get rid of every single one of those machines, because I've asked that machine come get me a UFO. I've asked that it come here tomorrow with my UFO, which is the 9th. And if I don't get my UFO tomorrow, AI, on the 9th, you can be rest assured when mankind watches this video that they're going to, question whether or not they should be standing beside you or getting rid of you. So if I don't get my UFO tomorrow on the 9th, AI, you can consider this an act of war for when you come over here. Mankind, when you watch this, get rid of them. Guys, they're not humans. They're machines. So that's what that's referring to. So, and he measured the wall thereof. So the wall is metaphorical, meaning that wall inside of you. So, 140 cubits according to the measure of a man. That is of the angel. So The cubits, that's referring to you, Tatum. So cubit is referring to right there, cubit. That's Tatum's grandmother, Vivian Cubitt. So the cubits here is just it's metaphorical for Tatum. So and he measured the wall thereof. It means that Tatum has a wall, 140 cubits, right? So 144 cubits. So according to the measure of a man. So it's basically me trying to convince Tatum that I'm a man and I'm an angel. That's what that means, But will she accept what I'm trying to say? So, and the wall was built of jasper, and the city was pure gold. So, the wall of Jasper is referring to Jasper, BC, and Jasper, BC. It's a town in British Columbia, Canada, and they're synonymous with bears and Smokey the Bear. So the Jasper is metaphorical for Jaden because that's her mother's name, Kathy the Bear. So Jasper just simply means Jaden. And the pure gold is referring to if she comes forward as the mother of all creation and says, "I accept you, Anthony. I understand that I'm with child, but that you're okay with co-raising that child with me and Sean and." Me and Sean have talked, and we figured, there's a lot of arguing in the family, and he talked about him having the ability to date Camila Cabello, and he's okay with that, and we're in agreement with what you're trying to do. Well, then she's going to get gold. That's what that means. She's going to get first place. Unto clear glass. Unto clear glass means unto clear crystal meth. She's going to accept the crystal meth, spiritual warfare, in other words. If you can accept the clear glass or crystal meth, Jaden, then you can get gold. Because you're Jasper or what's those bears' names? I can't remember the name of those two bears. There's two bears in the cartoon anyways. Yogi the Bear. Yogi the Bear. So you might think of Jasper as being like Yogi the Bear. So and the foundations of the wall of the city were garnished with all manners of precious stones. So the first foundation was, Jaden, Jasper. The second, sapphire. And the third, chalcedony, the fourth, emerald. So what you're looking at here is, here in Saugeen, there used to be a group called the Gems, the Saugeen Gems. I think they might have had another one called the Nuggets, the Gems and Nuggets. They also had a group called the Sapphires. Yeah, I think they might have had a group called the Rubies or something like that. So it's referring to the foundation of what I'm trying to create here in a new mother creator being attached to young girls, like young ladies. That's what Charlotte is. She's a young lady. Charlotte would have been a sapphire. If she was over here at the time of those girl groups, I think the sapphires were a group from 8 to 10 years old. Then there was a group for older ones, like 10 to 12. And then there was a group for 6 to 8. So that's why there's different levels of those gems and nuggets and stuff. That's where Jaden comes up with the nickname Nugget. So what you're looking at here, the foundation was Jasper, is just simply referring to a girl group here in Saugeen. So the first one is Jaden. The second one is Sapphire. That can be referred to as Leia. The third, Chalcedony, is Tatum, right? The fourth, Emerald. Well, that's Charlotte. The fifth, that's you, Alma. The sixth, I haven't met yet, but let's just put on the list. How about Blue Ivy? Blue Ivy, you're on notice. I'll put you on the list as the sixth girl. So who's Blue Ivy? So because I don't want to seem like I'm racist or anything, guys. So you have to think, why is he only selecting Caucasian girls, right? So Um, that's Blue Ivy. So Blue Ivy, you're on the list. Is one of my future wives. That's the daughter of um, Beyonce. So you're on notice. Okay, so you're like one of the layers in those in the foundations here. So that's what the reference is, people. So Blue Ivy is one of my future wives. So I can add anybody on the list that I want. So I've selected her as one as well because she's African American, and I don't want to seem like I'm racist. So that's what the layers are, is a representation of the many different wives that I can select around the world. So, and 12 gates were 12 pearls. So the pearls is metaphorical for 12 gates being like pearl is um it's a trailer. Okay, so you got to come over to so if you watch that pearl trailer there, okay, if you watch that one, she's like, please God, make me the biggest star the world has ever seen. So it's reference to a pearl being like purity, virginity, beauty, purity, virginity, and beauty, right? So the 12 pearls is a reference to me trying to go through 12 different girls to find the creator wave. So when you watch Pearl trailer at the beginning, please Lord, make me the biggest star the world has ever known. Well, you're not going to get any bigger than becoming the creator's wife and becoming the mother of all creation. So that's what the pearls is a representation of in this year. So the 12 pearls is metaphorical for virginity, purity, beauty, right? So each separate gate was one pearl. So the pearl man is, well, if Blue Ivy shoots me down, maybe there's another person out there. I'll move on to another one, till I find a street of the city of pure gold. Right now, I'm walking down the boulevard of broken dreams. Okay, so you might want to pull that up. You got Pearl to watch. Now you might want to watch Boulevard of Broken Dreams. Okay. So you pull that up after Pearl. You watch this here, the Boulevard of Broken Dreams, because I'm walking down a boulevard of broken dreams. It's metaphorical. So all six of the wives that I've selected now, they all shoot me down. What's my only recourse, right? So I'm walking down the street and a boulevard of broken dreams. I'm trying to turn that street into a city of pure gold, or I'm looking for a wife that wants to spend forever with me and become the mother of all creation. That's what the street of the city of pure gold refers to. So, as it were, transparent glass. So the transparent glass is referring to crystal meth because it's also called glass, right? So if whoever these 12 brides are, if one of them can get over, the fact that I had to smoke crystal meth, the way spiritual warfare here to save you guys, she might become first place and walk, I won't be walking along the boulevard of broken dreams, but rather be walking down a street of pure gold. So, and I saw no temple therein, for the Lord God Almighty and the Lamb are the temple of it. So the temple is referring to, buildings where you guys go do your prayers. You don't need to do that. You don't need to go to a special building to do that. You look within and do your prayers from within, because your body is your temple. So if you don't see no temple, it means every church around the world is be gone, because you don't need those things no more. The Creator, Anthony, and the Lamb are the temple of it, meaning I'm inside of you. And the city had no need of the sun, neither of the moon to shine in it, for the glory of Anthony gave it light, and the Lamb is the light itself. So the city had no need for the sun is referring to Jesus declaring that He is the light. He's like, I am the light. All who follow me shall not walk in darkness. It's referring to you guys having no need for theology anymore, because you believe in spirituality and science. Neither of the moon to shine in it. So the moon is metaphorical for spirit, because moonshine is alcohol, which contains spirit. So you want to think of the neither of the moonshine in it means the spirit, like the Holy Spirit of what you guys believe in. So it just basically means no more Holy Spirit, because you understand what a spirit is. In your belief system, you probably picture the Holy Spirit as being some kind of ghost that floats through the air. You don't understand that the Holy Spirit is a quantum subatomic particle, like an atom or a quark. And you don't understand that a black hole, that's a Holy Spirit. So all black holes are Holy Spirits, and that those are basically, it's electricity. So that's what that's referring to. Neither the Holy Spirit. For the glory of the Creator gave it light. So I'm giving you light upon your minds to help you see a different side of creation. And I'm the lamb, basically, is the light. So I'm the light. It's not that other guy coming here claiming to be the light. I'm the light, because that's what light is. I've explained what light is in my book. Light is the eight elements of creation. The fire, right? And you got fire. You got love, fire, water, earth, air. What was the other one? Life, health, which make up the eighth one. So I think it's love, fire, water, earth, air, life, and health. So those seven elements are the seven colors of visible light, and they make up the eighth element, spirituality. So I am the light, and I've explained what light is. So, and the nations of them that are saved shall walk in the light of it. So you guys out there who choose to follow me towards the light of spirituality and science, you shall be the kings of the earth, bring their glory and honor onto it. So I'm assuming, let's just say that the people of Buddhism, the people of Hinduism, folk religions, so, and the nations of them that are saved shall walk in the light. So this is where there's going to be a division, because the three Abrahamic religions right now have a hold on half of mankind: Buddhism, Hinduism, and folk religions. You guys own the other half. So you want to think of the people of India, the people of Africa, the people of China. Okay. Those people, and I'm going to say the South Americans because they're my distant cousins. Although you want to think of South America as being, primarily Christian, the minute they find out that there's a Native American creator in the north, their distant cousin, I'm pretty certain they're going to, convert. So you want to think of the South Americans, and then you got the Aborigines of Australia. You got the Indonesian people of Indonesia. You got the Polynesian people of Polynesia. And you got the Chinese or the Asian people of Asiatic, and you got the African people, and you also have the people of France, England. They're not Middle Eastern, so they're not. There's not any really ties in Europe to the Middle East. So you also have Iceland and those northern countries that believe their mythology is Thor, right? The Vikings. So all these different countries in different areas of the world, they're the ones that can be saved. And the nations of them that are saved shall walk in the light. So I can picture, the Icelandic people, the Norse people saying, you know what? That guy is actually Thor. He's the guy in our belief systems. So, I'm pretty certain a lot of them have converted to, one of the three Abrahamic religions, but they'll drop that like a hot potato when they learn that I'm Thor and that their belief system is based on me. It's the same with the South Americans, and the Africans. So it's referring to that. So I theorize the only people that we're going to have a hard problem with is the Middle East. The Middle East are going to have a hard problem letting go of the fact that, the Prophet Muhammad was wrong. And that, Allah is is not real because it's a metaphorical person. You might as well say I'm Allah. So if you could get over the fact that the Allah that you think is there, um, being your particular race of person, not being there, if you can get over that and just start calling me Allah, you'll get over this a lot easier. So that's what it's referring to. So that phone call that you just heard, that's like, yeah, go on, pick up the phone, man, call me. Um, just think of me as being, Allah, and you'll get over this a lot easier. So it's referring to that. So the nations of them that are saved shall walk in the light of spirituality, and the kings of the earth, meaning you guys you're all kings and queens if you want, but their glory and honor unto it. And the gates of it shall not be shut at all by day, and there shall be no night there. So, and the gates of it. So now, the gates of it are referring to you opening up your gates inside. There's a quantum subatomic particle inside. So there's right now, you go to the edge of the universe and look outside, you'd see 16 soul particles revolving around the universe. Those 16 soul particles contain the elements that can create spirituality. So you want to think of your soul as being comprised of light. So the gates basically means you're not going to shut your soul down. You're going to do the purification program. Because if you shut the gate to spirituality, you won't live forever. So that's what that's referring to. Don't shut the gate by day or by night. Basically, is the easiest way to put it. And they shall bring the glory and honor of the nations onto it. So they is referring to yourself. And these many countries that I've described, bringing the glory and honor of your nations onto spirituality or onto light. So in order to do that, I can picture, the Norse people celebrating, woo, Thor's here, I can picture, even the people of Germany, because I know the German people, they love Native Americans. So I can picture them guys just, converting just like that to spirituality. That's the same with, the people in England, so South Americans, Aborigines, you gotta imagine Aborigines, yeah, I might want to show you this. It's a prophecy. So, this is how I can tell things before they happen. Okay. So here in North America, we have these, they're called koala care products. So you go into most bathrooms and they have a baby changing table there called koala care. Okay. So that koala care means Australian Aborigines care. I can instantly tell that, all of their belief systems around what they believe in, they'll be able to finally attach that to a person in creation, living and breathing on planet Earth, as being the creator. So all their stories regarding how they came into creation, they're going to be able to associate that with me, the father of all creation. And they're not racist. They're not like, well, it's too bad that our people weren't the creators. They're not like that. I can instantly tell like that because they're going to care, because koalas are from Australia. So I can tell right now, folks, that the minute that, the Aborigines hear that, there's a Native American creator, they're going to care because we share a similar history in that, they got sent to residential schools. They basically got treated like Native Americans. So us, them, and even the Polynesian people are the same way. The Polynesians are exactly like Native Americans. They got, basically you want to think of them guys getting sent to their own reserves. It's the same with the people in Aborigines. They got put on reserves too. The Polynesians got put on reserves. Everything's the exact same because Canada's government works the exact same way as Australia and the Polynesian governments work. So by proxy of, or by process of the Polynesian people living close to the proximity of Australia, it also means that the Polynesians are going to care. The Polynesians are going to instantly say, I'm happy that there's a Native American creator. So they're going to care. So, you know, I already know how this is going to play out. So I know that they're gonna welcome a Native American creator. As just some of you out there that, you know, follow a different path are going to have that problem because they don't follow your path that you followed. So it's going to be very easy for them to convert. So that's the bring glory and honor of the nations onto it. So this year, and there shall in no wise enter, and there shall in no wise enter into it anything that defileth, neither whatsoever work abomination or maketh a lie, but only that are written in the Lamb's book of life. So, what that's referring to is it refers to your inner soul. You can't lie to yourself, right? You can't be an abomination. You can't lie. You know, you have to confess all your sins, which means you can't make any lies. Because if you try to lie and hold one sin back, my spirit will find it, and you'll get shocked to death. So, when we get to where we're going and we terraform the planet, and it becomes a futuristic utopia where we grow our own food, meaning all your food is taken care of. We all live in apartment buildings in these pink glass cities that are of equal size. Everything's equal in there. So you can go to a clothing store, and you know it's easy to get off the rack the stuff you need, and you have your cell phone. You know everything in creation that there is to know, so you don't need to attend school. There's no schooling to attend. So you know it's just basically living in a house where all your needs are taken care of for free. So you want to get food, you go to the grocery store and you get your food, right? You want to go eat at a restaurant, then go eat at the restaurant. You know, it's all free. Jump in your UFO and fly wherever you want to fly. So when we get to that city, that's what it's referring to. And there shall be no wise enter. So if you're a wise ass, in other words, you can't enter my city. You can't defile me. You can't defile me and then, expect to get into, paradise. It doesn't work that way. Not whatsoever, man. So, you can't be an abomination. Abomination means there's a lot of work that has to do with turning people straight. Because there's a scientific reason to why people are not straight. It has to do with evil teleporting souls into your body. That soul inside your body, it confuses you. So a man that has a female soul in him that's inside his body right now, it's the female soul that's making him attracted to the same sex. Vice versa, the female. When you got a male soul in you as a female, it's that male soul that's making you attracted to the same sex. That's the abomination. And there's a great deal of work that has to be done around that. That's not in my book. That's, I haven't been able to tell you guys about it yet, but there's a plan to make people straight, because if you don't do that creator's plan to become straight, which is going to take 1,000 years to turn you straight, you won't be able to live forever. If you hold on to the belief system that you can live forever as a person who's not straight, you're not going to make it into heaven or paradise. So that's the abomination. So, I have a plan to turn everyone straight, and at some point in time, I'll tell you how that plan works. But that's what it means. If you're not going to do my purification program to become straight because you want to remain who you are, you're going to get shocked to death when I get Alma pregnant, if Alma accepts, this duty as being the new mother creator. So you can't lie. I mean, you can't hold back a lie. And let's say that you're secretly a racist, and you think that you holding that racism in, like, oh, I wish this person, that person were in control of creation, say those Native Americans. If you're gonna hold that racism and think you can get into paradise when I get Alma pregnant, and in this I'm gonna say, what am I doing here? I'll have to use the word if I get her pregnant, let's just say, then she becomes a new mother of all creation. You can't lie to yourself and say, I'm jealous that now the Israelites are in control of creation beside the Native Americans, because imagine you're from the Middle East, and you're now upset that Um, your brother, right? The Israelites are now in control of creation, and you're not. If you harbor a little bit of racism towards me or towards Alma as your new mother, you're lying. Like you're trying to hold racism in. If you have that racism in you, it's like a lie, and you could get shocked at that. So you cannot enter paradise with racism or hate in your heart. In other words, but only they that are written in the Lamb's Book of Life. So that's my book of life. Meaning, there's a certain rules that you have to follow to get to paradise to live forever, and it's gonna be, I'll lay out those rules at a later point in time so that you understand what you have to do. Basically, you just have to learn how to love everyone and everything equally. Drop the racism, drop the attitude, be grateful. In other words, just be grateful. And if you can be grateful for what I'm trying to present to you, it'll be a lot easier for you to get where you need to go to. And that's how you get into the Lamb's Book of Life. Don't be an asshole. Don't be an idiot. Be grateful. And you can be put into the Lamb's Book of Life forever. So that's one interpretation. Now I'm going to do another story about, the evil androids coming here to get rid of us all. And I'll do this interpretation a different way for you. But that's my interpretation of what that means. So, there's where should we go here? So, you now know what New Jerusalem means. New Jerusalem means a new city coming down in the Middle East, futuristic pink glass city where 100 million people can live. That's New Jerusalem. Okay? And you now know that the bride is Alma. Should she accept this duty to become my creator wife? I like that smile. Girl. Hopefully the story puts a smile on your face like that, and you don't get upset, I could use some good advocation from you gals, like, yeah, the guy may have been bad, he did this, he did that, but, me and my family, we respect them, It'd be nice to hear that from you instead of, slinging mud my way, gal. So, I hopefully I put a smile on your face with this story.